Well, when I got home tonight, I noticed that my air compressor was running, which I didn't think too much about it, but something that it does occasionally. But I thought maybe I better, after I unloaded my stuff, it was still going. It seemed like it had been on for a little while. I thought maybe I better check it out. So when I went out here, I noticed that air was blowing pretty hard out of the top of the cylinder, right where the gasket's at. So I think I'm going to take a look at that and see whether maybe I've got a blown gasket or not. So show you what we got here. Right back here in the back corner, I have tucked in my little air compressor. Right up here is where air was blowing in. And there's a little gasket that runs right in here. I got a gasket here and another gasket here, and I noticed that the top of this is pretty oily. So I'd say it's probably been leaking. So I got to take these lines here off, and then all the bolts on top, lift that off of there. I've already bled the air. Guess I thought I bled the air off. Looks like there's some more residual air, but so anyways, I'm going to go ahead and pull this off, and then we'll turn the camera back on and see what we got. Okay, I got these 4 bolts off, or 8 bolts I should say off, and head's loose. Better pull these bolts out, I guess. Well, I think I'm going to get my little cart. I got a cart that I made that I can use for working on stuff like this, if I can get it over there. Well, looks like I can't get it over there, so we'll just use the back of the 48 here. There's those. I got a little valve I made here. Basically it was the same on both ends. I use that for draining my air sometimes, but I have another use for it actually. I have a little portable air tank, and I use that for that. Well, the head itself looks good. And yep, we got a torn gasket right there. So looks like it's pushed down in over here too. It doesn't look like there's any way to keep it from pushing down in. I think I better get a little gasket scraper. Little gasket scraper. And I think I'll probably look on this gasket a little bit, and then we'll, oh, that's coming up pretty easy actually. I can't quite see what you guys can see. This is up in here a bit, so hopefully I get something in here I can use. Okay. You can definitely see a torn spot in there. So we got a blown gasket. Well, I am either going to use some schmutz or take a try at making a gasket. We'll see what I do. Probably I might just use the schmutz on it. I think that'll seal better. That's just pretty hard to blow through, I think. So I'll set you down and we'll come back to this in a little bit. Well, I'm going to make a gasket after all. I got this gasket material here, and I don't think it's much work quite as well. The way this is designed, looks like it'd be a lot nicer if you had something that actually just kind of pressed into and compressed. Tighten her up and then get her good and sealed that way. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a chunk here about the size I think it needs to be. Right about here. Then I'm going to try to decurl it a little bit. Use a screwdriver. Angle up a little bit here. And there. Just get the cat's tail off this thing. There we go. Now, just where you guys can see it if you can. I'm going to take this, I'm going to use this to make a bit of an outline here. Get the outside edge pretty close to where it has it. I'm going to leave this tab, but I'm going to make my tab go clear across. I'm going to put it about like that, and then we'll use this marker to make an outline of it on the inside. That'll be where I have to actually cut it with the knife. This in here, since this is side blown out, I'm not going to draw it out completely because I'm going to flip the gasket over. This in here is the same both ways. It's basically a mirror image one way to the other way. Nice sharp Stanley knife. we got basically the gasket minus the holes, and it lines up beautifully. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this down on it. Get it lined up that way. And I'm going to go get a centering punch and punch centers, and then I'm going to use a gasket punch set and punch the gasket. Okay, the centering punches, just got to find the right size. Deceivingly small. Keep on going, sooner or later I'll get there. Alright, that's the size I need. And these are just locators for when I put my, when I use my hole punch. So that's all I'm doing, is just putting a little bit of a divot in there. Didn't really need that to go and move like that on me. Well, what I'll do then is, since it moved on me, I'm going to punch those 5 holes first, and then I can line them up with bolts, and then I'll do the rest. Okay, here's how this works. And it looks like it might have already moved on me. I think I'm going to make, well, let's see here. Wish it would have not have moved on me. Well, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and go by the marks I put on there. They should work good enough, I guess. And I need to make sure that the punch set that I get, the bolts will fit through. I'd say this is the one I want right here. So, this is the one I want, and I'm going to take and use this pin here to center it up, and just take and there's the hole. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and make sure that bolts fit through here on this side, and then I'll go ahead and finish. I'm going to go ahead and try to recenter the other ones again like I did last time. Now, this time I won't be able to slide around. I want to make sure these things are in the right spot. And there's that. And now we can take our centering punch there. I think I'm going to be glad I did that. Now we can set that center mark right in there. Well, didn't quite hit hard enough. Looks like I gotta hit that one more time. Ah, there he goes. Alrighty. Now we've got a gasket. All the holes are punched. Now I'll go ahead and put her together and we'll see what happens. Alright, I took these down with a speedy handle and just basically kissed them down so they're just touching. Then I used something like this. I usually like to do a torque pattern that spreads it crisscross but also outwards lengthwise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snug this in just a hair, then this one, then this one, and this one. That's my X. Then I'm going to go back to this one and down, and this one and down. And then I just go back and forth until she's seated pretty definitely. You don't want to reef on it. It's aluminum head, so you want to try to be kind of gentle on it. And then just over and over again. It don't hurt to keep going at it until you get her. You'll know when you get it there because it'll stop wanting to turn hardly. The important thing basically is not to try to get too crazy on one side at a time. And I think it's also kind of important to spread from the center out. Okay, it's getting close. I'm going to go ahead and put the camera down. After that, then I just got to attach these here and start it up, see what she does. Okay, one other thing I did real quick is I checked the oil here. I had plenty of oil in it, so everything's tight. And it's going to be noisy, but I'm ready to start her up. Plug your ears. Oh, guess it helped to plug it back in. I did have it unplugged, so. Now. Oh, it sounds better. It ain't blowing air. It's actually a lot quieter than it's been for a while. It's probably been blowing for a while. Now, let's see how fast it builds air up. It may take a little while. Well, I think I'm going to put my tools away and then come back and check how she's doing. Okay, it's only been maybe 5 minutes or so and we're already up to about 90 pounds, so I think she's doing pretty good. A little while ago I got up to 90 and it wouldn't go any higher than that, so it wasn't able to put the pressure up past that point. So it should climb up to about 120 or so and then shut off, and I guess that's all I need to do for the video. We'll catch you later. Bye.